Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Back at y'all with another live stream. Actually, this is a special one. This is definitely a special one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to sound off on the video, Ladies Beware. Maniac Phoenix cop on duty. Oh, yeah. Y'all had so much to say about it. Y'all had so much to say about it, so it's real and it's here. Let me put the link in the chat real quick for all the naysayers who said that this woman was in the wrong. First of all, let's put that up there. Yeah, because I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from the ones who was in favor for the lady as well. Definitely.
And experience your new mattress in a box before you.
We ain't here to talk about no mattress. We try and hear the beats and get to the business.
Damn.
That's what we about to do. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Sorry for that minor interruption. This is a sound off moment. This is an Eyezonbluebloodz education. Shout out to King James, Sean's back. Esmo Vital, James Williams. The Queen, Renetta Williams, all the way from Wynn, Arkansas. This Nuff, Oregon Road, Miss B, James Williams. Like I said, we about to get into this video real quick, but before we do, let me show y'all the preview of what I got going on for later on real quick. And this is funny right here. This is real funny.
Ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody, we're just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could.
Oh man, that's my man Joe Rogan right there. You know, I'm not gonna hate on nobody for the way they feel, especially for something like that. But I think, you know, he's a little off. Yeah, if a white person says it, it was always offensive. That never changed. But we'll get into that later on. We're going to get into this video. We're going to sound off on this video. Shout out to OKC Cal. OKC Cal. Now, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to play it all the way through. I'm going to give all y'all time to come on up. Let me put this in the, I'm sorry, I thought I put the link in the stream. Here we go, right here. This is for all of y'all to come on up. Y'all can come up and just say how y'all feel about the situation. Y'all can talk about how y'all feel that she was resisting arrest. You know, all y'all that was in the comments about she should have just followed and complied with the officer's orders. Yeah, come on up, even if it's for 3 seconds. Say what you got to say, get out of there. Y'all want to come on up? It's an open panel. Y'all all welcome. Let's get into this video, man. Next time we play the video, we'll be dissecting this. I'm going to give y'all time to decide if y'all coming up. It's the resistance.
License? Tom 600 code 6. Hi. What's your license? You have any ID on you?
Why am I getting pulled over?
At 600 West Camelback, or excuse me, Indian School Road.
Why am I getting pulled over?
Is this your car?
No.
Bravo John Sam
Why am I getting pulled over?
5455. You have ID on you?
No. Why am I getting pulled over?
Put your hands behind your back.
Excuse me.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Put your hands behind your back. Stop. 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 Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Stop. Hands behind your back. Tom 600. Give me another unit.
Why are you arresting me?
I'm asking for your ID. You said you don't have any ID.
Can I get it? In my car?
You said you didn't have ID.
I do. What did I do?
Give me your arm.
Let me get my car.
Give me your arm. Stop. Stop. Give me your arm. Put your arm. Give me your arm.
What did I do?
You're in the wrong lane. You're in opposite lane of travel.
What?
Give me your arm.
No, I wasn't.
Give me your arm, please.
You're hurting me.
Give me your arm.
No.
Give me your arm. Give me your hand.
I can't do this. I did nothing wrong, sir.
Stop.
What the hell did I do?
You're in opposing lane.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Why did you tackle me? Leave my spot.
I'm locking it. Stop.
I don't know why you're doing this. What did I do? It's past this clock. What did I do? What did I do? You tackled me for no reason.
417 from 24th account. 10 cars. Please. I've never spoke for Top 600 after requesting another unit. He is 600 West Indian School Road. License plate of the vehicle was John Sam 5455. I'm not getting anything back for it.
I'm no harm. I just
Tom 600. I've got her detained, but she's real uncooperative.
I'm like, I
Stand up.
There's no one on
Stand up.
It's in the car.
Okay, well, then you should have told me that. You could have given me. Stop arguing. Stop. Stop. Why don't you act like a young lady?
You're
Stop.
handling me.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to
You
get you.
slammed my head.
Stop.
Why am I in handcuffs? Why am I? I don't know
I
why.
have another officer coming. We'll put you in the
I
car.
can't believe
You can relax.
You're
You can
hurting
calm
my
down.
wrist, and it's gonna show, sir.
Good.
Good.
You just need to calm down. Excuse me?
So nothing. I said, why did you arrest me?
I explained it.
But it's not past 6 o'clock. So what did I do wrong?
It's not past what? 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. So what did I do wrong?
What's 6 o'clock have to do
I
with
can be
anything?
in the turning lane.
You're in the southbound. You're southbound and northbound number 1 lane.
Well,
You're in the wrong lane of travel.
Show proof.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm being detained for, sir.
Because you refuse to give me ID.
But you said I was in the wrong lane. I just turned left. My ID's in the car, sir.
Okay. We're gonna have her have a seat in your vehicle because she's just loud and make sure she doesn't have anything in her jacket pocket.
Can you guys please record this?
It's recorded. No worries. got any weapons on you? That's all I'm looking for is weapons. We got body cams. Have a seat.
Go for Mike. Hey, I'm out here on Indian school. I don't know if you heard it. That the one-on-one, yeah, saying her head bleeding or something. Yeah, the DUI. And she does. She's got blood on her hand, but it's because she was sitting there wiping it over and over again. But she's got about maybe a quarter to. It's not a half inch, so just about a quarter-inch cut on the top of her head. It might need a stitch. And she's got you can tell she probably bumped her head on the ground when he took her to the ground. So I'm going to do the use of force for McGillis. And then... there was no strikes or anything. It's more like just like an injured prisoner, right? Oh, yeah, she was she was freaking out about it. And when he actually had to take her to the ground, I think it was either that or when he tried to push her up against the car. So she's like super emotional, super Looney Tunes. You're breaking up. I can only hear like every other word. So, what's the custody for? DUI. DUI. Oh, DUI. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna get her checked out. Let's make sure we do photos and stuff. Yeah, like you said, do that. We'll do the injured prisoner / use force just to see why here. So yeah. There's nothing. I mean, when we get, is she alleging any misconduct or anything, or is she just complaining about the injury? She thinks she was kind of manhandled or whatever, but.
Hakim. Man, y'all don't know how bad I wanted to interrupt that video. Hakim. Y'all don't know how bad I want to interrupt that video. But I played that for y'all first. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Y'all don't know how bad I wanted to interrupt that video. But I played that for y'all first. I wanted y'all to digest that. I also got my man, Incorporation Doctrine 88. He's on the panel. He's going to dissect this joint, okay? For those who don't have time, I suggest y'all go ahead and do what y'all got to do. Catch this later. We're going to take our time with this. We're going to take our time with this one, all right? This is a dissection piece. All right, let me get my thing together because I just had a few technical difficulties. Pull this video back up on the screen. Shout outs Incorporation Doctrine 88. What up, bro?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Give me a second. I'm going to get this video back up.
Okay. I cannot believe what I'm seeing on this video, man.
Yeah. It's real. Well, first of all, I wanted everybody to see that video first so they could just, they could digest it again. Because it got, the reason why I'm playing it is because it got so many views on it. It got
understood.
It got over 100,000 views on it on Facebook. So I thought it was a good reason to play it again because a lot of people had a lot of things to say about this video.
That video is disgusting, man. It's the absolute reason why you and I do what we do. Because if that body camera footage hadn't gotten out, she would have never had a voice. I mean, what those police officers did to her is legally torture. Legally
Right.
torture. There's no and ifs and buts about it. Right? It's torture.
Let me get my man Charlie Dog 84 in here. Hold on real quick. I got my man Charlie Dog 84 in the green room. I'm going to pull him in as well. I encourage everybody who wants to come up and say something about this video, come on up. We're going to do a regular review on it. Incorporation Doctrine 88 is going to give his dissection piece on it. And we all going to sound off on it. This is for everybody. Charlie Dog 84. What's up, my man?
What's up with it, big homie? How you doing? Resistance.
chilling, bro. I'm chilling, man. I'm showing this crazy stuff every day. Every day.
Yeah, man. I've been peeping your news channel, man. I love it, man. Love what you're doing, man.
Bro.
Keep that shit
Thank you,
up, big homie.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, listen, real quick, what you gotta say about this video?
Man, the use of force is crazy.
Right?
It's misapplied.
It use of force is crazy.
Is he? Wait a minute. I got the print, right? I got an article on it. We're gonna read on that too. Like, this is a special, okay? This is a Sunday night special. We got Charlie Dog 84 in the house. I appreciate if all y'all share this. And we got Incorporation Doctrine 88 in the house. He's the information man. Remember, I showed his video the other night. Okay, so look, we here for a minute. And Incorporation Doctrine 88, look at that right there I got on the screen. Can you see that? That's a comment that from a bootlicker that says, I support law enforcement, not criminals.
Wait a second. Whoa. Okay, so that's fine and dandy. They're entitled to their opinion per the First Amendment, right? They have the right to their opinion. As much as you and I back up Black Lives Matter, we must also back up the Ku Klux Klan because they have the right to state their opinion, right? Now, that being said, this moron is not backing up law because the law says she has the right to be secure in her persons and her effects per the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Okay? Right. So the fact that her Fourth Amendment got violated, that police officer approached her, and when he had no jurisdiction, he lost his ability or his authority as a police officer. It's Edelman v. Jordan, 415 U.S. 651. Whenever a law enforcement official operates outside the scope of authority, which the state can authorize, that law enforcement official is immediately stripped of power. So when he walked up to her...
Let me stop you right there real quick, because we're going to play this as you dissect it. So let's just start. Here we go right here. I'm going to blow it up on the screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a little volume to it, just a little bit. Now, there we go.
Right there, stop. Right there, he stopped being a law enforcement officer. He stopped being a cop at that very second. So whatever that guy was saying, he backs up law enforcement. Well, guess what? So do I. But guess what? At this very point, that person stopped being a law enforcement officer because he violated his oath of office to uphold the Constitution. She has the right to be secure in her person and her effects. That's federal law. That's law no matter what. And as you and I discussed before, there's no ambiguity in law. Either you are or you aren't. Either you're pregnant or you're not, right? Period.
And you don't got no scratch on your forehead either.
I'm sorry?
She has nothing on her face.
And exactly. So she has done nothing. Her actions have done nothing to have these people go hands-on and to accelerate and to make it where she's bleeding. There's no reason for it. And so technically speaking, and I get kind of technical as my boy Resistance knows, at this very point, they put their hands on her. That is legally torture. Title 18
right there.
Oh God, it's worse. No. Fucked up is not is not emphasizing enough how bad they effed up. Okay, It's legally torture. Title 18, U.S. Code 2340. If somebody says challenge me on it. Okay, the legal definition of torture is an act under the color of law when it's specifically intended to inflict severe mental pain or anguish upon a person in their custody and control, period. Not only is that federal law, it's also a crimes against humanity per the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, Article 2. It's a crimes against humanity. That is they can get hung for that, man. That's
and an Eighth Amendment violation.
But that's
punishment, right?
I'm sorry.
in the 8th Amendment violation, cruel and unusual punishment, right?
Well, because she's a pretrial detainee, technically, the 8th Amendment doesn't apply. It's the 14th Amendment. She has a 14th Amendment to due process of law, to equal protection of law, okay? Because at this point here, she's kind of in quote unquote custody. So her application of her complaint changes from the 8th Amendment to the 14th Amendment, which is actually more damaging to the police officers. Because
so it upgraded. You saying?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, sir. And it makes her complaint easier to complain. Get this, brother. A pretrial detainee cannot be punished for any reason. Period. Okay? Whether you're being pulled over, whether you're on bond, or if you're in custody, quote unquote, you cannot be punished for any reason. Period.
Incorporation Doctrine 88. I think Charlie want to get a couple words in. Go ahead, Charlie.
What if you're dealing with feelings?
Okay, so feelings is not law, right? And so
when the officer says, well, they decided to call the police on you dealing with feelings, well, you got the right to detain me because of feelings?
I wish they would, you know. I say that in hindsight, okay? I really don't wish they would, but I kind of do, okay? Because what they did to this lady is torture. It's absolute torture. They have no authority. If she had
let's watch some more of the video and we can get back into it. We only 9 seconds in. Let's get about 2 minutes in. Yeah,
9 seconds.
We're only 9 seconds in, and we sounded off all the way up to the 6 feet high. Let's bring it down a little bit and see what we want to hit every.
Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down.
Let's bring it down and then take it back up because we want to hit every detail.
Okay.
At 600 West Indian School Road. Is this your car?
No.
Bravo John Sam 5455. Do you have ID on you?
No. Why am I getting pulled over?
Excuse me.
So what's that right there? He said no, and then all of a sudden he says, "Put your hands behind your back," and immediately goes hands on.
Is this your car? No. Then hands on.
One more time.
F455. Do you have ID on you?
No. Why am I getting pulled over?
Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
What the fuck is that about? Like, he gave her no time to respond.
That was not even a second. That was a 7.22367.
Hold on, but here's the thing. I don't see none of the people who said that she was not complying and basically not complying and going against his orders. So they say. I don't see none of them in here. Where are they at?
Where's that bootlicker saying that she was not? I'm with law enforcement. That imbecile. Because I'm talking about the pure application of law, right? Not my emotions or feelings. Okay, this is the law.
Hold on, here go one for you right here. David Koenig. Okay, Koe. I'm sorry, David Koenig. Koenig. This one, he says she was out of control. She could have killed someone driving on the opposite side of the road. She was confrontational. As the operator of a vehicle, you are required to show proof of driver's license. Therefore, the charge would be obstruction. Listen, she was on the wrong side of the road, didn't show her driver's license after being asked several times. He had probable cause of OWI at that point.
Oh my God.
And I guess she's talking to me. I guess she talking to me because she say, "Stop demonizing police. Everyone hates the cops until they need one." Shaking my head.
Can I answer that question, please?
Go ahead.
Can I please give my opinion? Our legal facts, okay? The second that police officer approached her, this is what federal law says, okay? I'm gonna quote you verbatim. A law enforcement official must articulate particularized and objective basis for suspecting the particular person stopped of criminal activity, period. Criminal activity is a crime has to have injury to a person, damage to property, or a felony in the presence of a police officer. You explain to me how her driving, quote unquote, on the wrong side of the road, if they can even prove that, is a crime. Because when they approached her, she was out of her vehicle. And we discussed this before, resistance. Vehicle means something, right?
Right.
And whoever this person is cop-splaining the statutes and codes and policies is not actual application of law. And if they want to question me on it, I ask them to please tell me the case law that says that you don't have the right to travel free and unencumbered from interference from the government. You tell me what law or statute overrides that constitutional law, please. Man, that's the weakest argument I've ever heard in my life.
All right, we won't continue on with the video.
Hands behind your back. Stop. 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 Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Stop. Hands behind your back. Top 600. Give me another unit.
Why are you asking me?
I'm asking for your ID. You said you don't have any ID.
Can I get it? In my car?
You said you didn't have ID.
I do. What did I do?
Give me your arm.
Let me get my car.
Give me your arm. Stop. Stop.
Right here, all the successive force.
Wow.
Right, penalties is he facing with all the successful force right here, bending her arm back. Not only are we hearing her scream, but we see him bending her arm back, throwing her on the ground. She didn't do nothing but turn around when he asked, did she have ID? So, like, how is he going to pay out the ass for all of this?
Can I insert federal law real quick, please?
Take the lead for a few minutes. I'm listening to you. I got to dig in my bag and get some paperwork, so I'm going to be a little far away from the mic. Go ahead.
An officer making a traffic stop based upon a misapprehension of law, even if reasonable, is an illegal stop. U.S. v. Lopez Soto Supia. All right? U.S. versus Morales, 252 F3 1070. That's the federal case law. Look it up. Even though he might have thought he was doing the right thing, his thoughts are irrelevant. His ignorance of the law is irrelevant in the application of said law. He is deemed to know the law, so either his intentions are malicious or ignorant. Either way, they're inexcusable and unacceptable, and he is liable to her in civil damages per Title 42 U.S. Code, subsection 1983.
So
Period.
basically, just like a private citizen, ignorance is no excuse when it comes to law.
No. Worse than a private citizen, because he is deemed to know the law.
He's a higher standard.
An absolute higher standard. She's entitled to his pension, his surety bond, and any kind of compensation that was used to prosecute her belongs to her times 3. Federal law.
Give me your arm. Put your arm.
Wow.
Give me your arm.
What did I do?
You're in the wrong lane. You're in opposite lane of travel. Give me your arm. Give me your arm, please. Give me your arm. Give me your arm. Give me your hand. Stop.
Hey, hold up.
You're in opposing lane.
Wow.
You were.
Why did you tackle me?
Do you know, real quick, the fact that she's in that prone position, okay, being a female, and she is cuffed, and that man is behind her, that is sexual misconduct on his part. I don't care what he says.
I mentioned that. That's why I titled it the way I titled it on the thumbnail. A lot of people were offended, but it is what it is. I called it face down, ass up, because that's basically how he had her.
That is sexual misconduct. Period. Wow.
Leave my phone.
I'm locking it. Stop.
I don't know why you're doing this. What did I do? It's past this clock. What did I do? What did I do? You tackled me for no reason.
Let me tell you how many federal laws he's violated. Okay? I don't. Jesus Christ. This is sick.
I'm not getting anything back for it.
I'm no part. I can't
Sounds like
cooperate.
I've got her detained, but she's real uncooperative.
Uncooperative? Uncooperative is not a crime.
He lied.
He lied. He lied. And so the second he lied, he loses his jurisdiction. This is the most, this is sickening. This makes me want to vomit, okay? Because what they did to this woman is torture. If they took her to jail, it's human trafficking, slavery.
Right.
It is illegal as all get out.
So at this point, he's not acting under the color of law. He lost
the color of law. He lost that moniker. He lost that moniker, color of law, when he approached her from the get-go. He lost that moniker. Edelman v. Jordan.
Basically, he's operating in the capacity of a criminal.
He is. It's. Oh my gosh, he's acting as a normal person. Wow.
You should have told me that. You could have given him. Stop arguing. Stop.
Arguing.
Stop. Why don't you act like a...
Wait a minute. Do me a favor. Incorporation Doctrine 88. I need you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
I got my cousin Wiley Low in the chat. He's a little confused on what's going on. Could you just please, him and for everybody else who just got in, give a brief description of what's going on, why the cop is wrong, and basically a whole summary of the whole shit that's going on.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. When he approached her, she wasn't breaking the law, okay? And law enforcement are exactly that. They enforce the law. She wasn't breaking the law, so he had no jurisdiction at all over her. The second he told her to come here or gave her some kind of authoritative order, he lost his authorization to enforce that said law, because the law says this: whenever law enforcement officials operate outside of the scope of authority which a state can authorize, that law enforcement official is immediately stripped of power. Immediately. They're no longer agents of the government. Edelman v. Jordan, 415 U.S. 651. So he stopped being an agent of the government at that very point. He told her to go over here or do this. It's called an authoritative stop or command. At that very point, he stopped being a cop. He loses his qualified immunity. He loses his pension. He loses his surety bond. He loses everything. Everything. Period. Period. That's the very reason for Title 42, U.S. Code 1983, for this exact circumstance.
So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. We sounded off on this video. I think this video is 3 weeks old. It got over 100,000 views on Facebook. Everybody has something to say. We got very minimum people saying things about the video. There was let me see, I think at least 1,000, 1.5 comments or something like that. And there was a lot of people that were going against the young lady in the video. They were saying she was pretty
How
much
so? How?
acting like a criminal. Well, let's continue watching.
Stop handling me.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to.
You slammed my head. Why am I in handcuffs? Why am I? I don't know.
I have another officer coming. We'll put you in the car.
can't believe
You can relax.
Wow.
And it's gonna show, sir.
Good.
Good.
You just need to calm down. Excuse me?
So nothing.
Right there.
But it's not
Right there. She is being handled by a sexual predator at that very second.
He has no reason touching her like that. He's
Oh my God, no! Restraining her like that.
Right.
Hi, I'm officers not so and so. I didn't get my name and badge number. Let me slam you to the damn ground.
Charlie Dog 84, y'all.
I'm using the car, sir.
Okay. We're gonna have her have a seat in your
Shout outs Wake Up America and Resist. Rogan.
Smash that thumbs up, y'all.
It's recorded.
Ralph Wire. Two Hats. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all. Harold Shields. This is dissection of the video. Ladies beware. Maniac Phoenix Cop on duty. This is that video. Y'all welcome to come up and say what y'all need to say about the video. I'm accepting everybody on the panel. Even if it's just 3 or 4 words, come on up and say what you got to say.
So, hey, resistance right here is important too. What this man is saying.
Hold on for a minute.
She's got about maybe the finger head bleeding or something. Yeah, the DUI. She does. She's got blood on her hand, but it's because she was sitting there wiping it over and over again. But she's got about maybe a quarter to. It's not a half inch, so just about a quarter-inch cut on the top of her head.
Freeze.
It might need a stitch.
Wow. A pretrial detainee cannot be punished for any reason. A pretrial detainee cannot be punished for any reason, period, right? That's federal law. So if she wasn't an active threat to those police officers, they had no reason to use force, okay? And the fact that they escalated that force and she's bleeding, she has a cut on her hand. I don't care if she has bruises from the handcuffs. That's an injury. That is an injury and a misapplication of law. They are liable to that woman for, man, please, don't get me started.
Shout outs Perfect Resistor. Shout outs Perfect Sense Resistor and Resistant Level is Futile. Shout outs to y'all. Go ahead, bro. My fault.
No, you're good. You're good. The fact that they did that and this man is trying to cop-splain his way out of it, but he's also covering his you know what, because he's saying, well, she has an injury. She's bleeding. She might be wiping it off. Well, he becomes biased at that point. He loses his objectivity. The eyes of justice are no longer blind. He's putting his personal history, his personal feelings into it, which jeopardizes and bastardizes the whole investigation. It's all fruit of the poisonous tree. Okay?
What is the use of force? What does the use of force say? Like, what he put in his report of the use of force? Was she running? Was she waving her hands in his face?
That is a fantastic question. That is a fantastic point you just made, because federal law and compensation statutes say this. What was the person doing right before they got arrested? Whether the arrest was legal or not, what were they doing right before? Was she throwing rocks at them and running away and laughing? Ha, ha, ha. Or was she doing what she's legally allowed to do and not a threat? She wasn't amped up. She wasn't protesting per se, like Black Lives Matter. Blah, blah. She wasn't being in a mode where he would have his anxiety amped up. He was acting.
She wasn't inciting, or she wasn't inciting.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Which is also protected by the First Amendment, mind you, right? She was being an ordinary citizen, like you and I, walking down the street, and he went hands on. He went hands on. Abused his position.
Let me just read what the facts are. What was in this article? So it revealed Phoenix officer assaulted woman during minor traffic stop, then took her to jail. Body cam footage of an officer with the history of misconduct claims slammed 23-year-old Mariah Valenzuela to the ground within seconds of traffic stop. 1 week after Phoenix, Arizona were caught on surrounding a parked car and a man inside, a young woman is coming forward with footage of a brutal assault by another officer in the department. Mariah Valenzuela, 23, was pulled over one night in January for a minor traffic violation. Body camera footage obtained by the Guardian that the officer involved, Michael McGillis, that's the officer, ladies and gentlemen, Michael McGillis, would not tell the unarmed woman why he stopped her, and at seconds after, she said she didn't have ID on her. He tackled and slammed her onto the ground, injuring her head, face, hands, and legs. Police footage documents another officer instructing the policeman on the scene to cover your ass in the paperwork. Whoa.
So you ready? Are you ready? Title 18 U.S. Code, Title 42 U.S. Code, subsection 1997 is called failure to act. Okay? The reason why those cops in that George Floyd situation are in as much trouble as that officer who killed George Floyd, they didn't act. They didn't stop him from being killed, okay? The fact that these officers are covering their ass is Title 18 U.S. Code 241, which says when two or more persons under the color of law conspire to deprive a citizen of their rights, they're acting in concert, which is legally and technically it's a RICO Act violation. They are conspiring under the color of law to deprive that lady of her civil rights, which is
Ain't it
just
like that? Ain't it just like that old lady that had dementia and that cop broke her rib?
Broke her arm. They broke her arm.
Karen Garner.
And those two cops were, I didn't hear no snap.
No. Did you hear the pop? That's what he said.
And they were laughing.
Here comes the pop. They was laughing at the pop.
That's fucked up.
Cold-blooded pieces of shit. That's
called depraved indifference. Okay, and depraved indifference escalates the amount of her compensation. Depraved indifference to her suffering or her being a human being escalates their culpability to what they've done. Depraved indifference means they didn't even treat her as a human being. Like the idiots in Mississippi or where the hell they were that killed that brother with the shotgun. They killed him. Amari, whatever. So they have depraved indifference because after they shot him, they turned around and wiped their hands of the blood. They didn't care the fact he was on the ground bleeding. They were wiping their hands of the blood. And that judge lit him up for that. Well, in this case, that police officer cared not that he traumatized this lady. He didn't care. All he cared about was trying to cover his ass. And as part of the same thing, they're all liable. They're all liable for that.
Right.
Big time.
So
it shouldn't get mid eight figures, and somebody's not doing their job in Arizona.
Wow. Well, wait a minute. It's developing here in this story, so we might get something out of this. Following the incident, Valenzuela was taken to jail, accused of resisting arrest and creating a substantial risk of physical injury to an officer. She was that's crazy. That's crazy because she didn't do nothing to him. She was also cited for DUI, even though her blood alcohol content was well below the legal limit. Wow. So she wasn't even, to everybody that was in the comments of this video talking about she was DUI, OUI, or whatever I. She was below the legal limit of the fucking I that's in your state.
So get this. This is how federal law states. The fact that they took her blood alcohol content without her being charged of a crime is a Fourth Amendment violation. They don't have the right to test her blood alcohol content because she was not convicted of a crime. That's a misapplication of law. How dare they?
Incorporation Act 88, y'all. You breaking it down for y'all. This is an Eyes on Blue Bloods education. This is not a regular show. Okay, this is an Eyes on Blue Bloods education. He's dropping a few gems for y'all right now.
I eat cops like that for breakfast, brother, man.
Yo, teach us how to do it, bro. Teach us how to do it.
Just learn your Bill of Rights, man. And the reason my channel is called Incorporation Doctrine 88 is because of the selective incorporation doctrine. The selective incorporation doctrine gives the citizen like you and I federal protections per the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 14th Amendments is the Bill of Rights. How that applies to you and I is because of the selective incorporation doctrine. So the Constitution is not only a big thing, it's actual federal law. And so the Constitution protects the state from the government, and the selective incorporation doctrine and the Bill of Rights protects the individual from the state, which protects them from the government. Okay. Right. And so these policemen are sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution. Well, as soon as they don't do that, they are in breach of their contractual obligation to uphold the Constitution. And so they are done. They're done. They lose all their power, all their authority, quote unquote authority that we give them, right? And so they are acting as criminals. And the judge who's allowing this to continue, it's called quorum non judice, acting as a person, not a judge. The DA is violating the Brady violation. These laws are there for a reason, and our forefathers had this foresight in the 1700s in Boston, mind you, okay, to make it where they stopped an absolute tyranny from developing like they were facing back in England. Okay, right. It's a very simple application of law. All these white noise behind it, and all these statutes and codes and all that stuff, are they applicable? Yes. Do they mean things? Yes. But guess what? If they interfere with the Constitution, they mean squat. Look it up. It's called the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2.
Okay. Let me cut you off right there real quick. Shout outs to American Amy. Shout outs to Anarchy Television. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro.
No, you're good.
For this, and I want them to hear some more of you as well. But I'm going to finish where I left off. She was also cited for DUI, even though her blood alcohol content was well below the legal limit. He grabbed me and threw me on my car and kept slamming my head. I got some background noise. I'm going to just mute y'all real quick so I can read this. He grabbed me and he threw me on my car and kept slamming my head. Valenzuela, a mother of two, said in a recent interview about the officer's sudden use of force. I was really afraid. It was dark and there was no one around. Valenzuela's stop was not an isolated incident, attorney said. Phoenix has had one of the highest rates of police shootings and police killings of civilians and civil rights leaders. Officers rarely face consequences for escalating encounters, assaulting residents, defaulting to lethal force, and making false claims. In recent years, Phoenix police have tackled a blind man, threatened to shoot a man in the head in front of his children while investigating a shoplifting, killed a man struggling with mental illness after mistaking police handcuffs for a weapon, and fatally shot an unarmed man in the back. The officer who arrested Valenzuela has a history of misconduct. The Phoenix police sergeant and justice guardian at the department takes allegations of misconduct seriously. Noted that Officer McGillis has no prior documented discipline. And that's her face right there. I'm going to unmute y'all.
Okay.
That's her face bruised up right there.
Wow.
We didn't see that.
Wow.
Busted ass lip. Her face is messed off.
That's unacceptable.
She was a beautiful lady 10 minutes before this ever happened.
And you know what? Now she's a rich, beautiful lady.
That's how she looked. That's how she looked without being beat the fuck up. A beautiful woman right there.
I'm gonna say this. Hey, I'm gonna say this. resistance, and I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna do it here on this platform. Anthony Jason Ramirez, what are you gonna do about this? You're in Arizona. You're a civil rights attorney. What are you gonna do about this?
Anthony J.
High
Ramirez.
school. What are you gonna do about this?
Oh wow.
What are you gonna do about this? You're a civil rights attorney.
Anthony,
I know you since eighth grade.
What's the say his name again?
Anthony Jason Ramirez.
And he's a civil attorney out of Phoenix.
Yes, and he's actually a damn good one. And I've known him since ninth grade. What does he do about this?
Yeah, he should be on it.
I'll call
That's
him.
money in his.
Hey, mute me real quick.
Yep.
Mute me. I'm gonna call him.
All right, I'm gonna continue with this article. So there's once again, that's the picture of her all bruised up, getting beat up by that officer right there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. We got Incorporation Doctrine 88 and Charlie Dog 84 on the panel. Incorporation Doctrine 88 is dissecting this video. Y'all don't go nowhere. This is a special Sunday night. Shout out to Sweetest Sugar. What's going on? American Amy again. All y'all, Perfect Sense, Resistor, moderator of the stuff, and Resistant Level is Feudal as well. Shout outs to all y'all. Wake Up America and Resist, of course. Anarchy Television, all of y'all. But let's get back to this. That's the lady who
Smash
was in
the like button. Smash the like button, please.
As a matter of fact, let's jump to commercial real quick. Hit the likes. Everybody about to get killed out here. Like it for everybody. All right, so we back. And this is the lady again, Valenzuela. And she got beat up by that officer. I titled it Ladies Beware, Maniac Cop, Maniac, Phoenix, Arizona cop on duty. So let's continue with the reading. Body cam footage documents Officer McGillis announcing on his radio he was about to pull someone over who had been driving in a wrong lane. Valenzuela pulled into the nearest parking lot, got out of her car, and asked why he stopped her. The body camera footage shows McGillis asking Valenzuela for her ID and her calmly explaining that she didn't have it on her. Seconds later, it wasn't even seconds. Like, Charlie Doug, what'd you say it was? How fast it was, bro?
It was 0.007931 second. It was not even a second.
He jumped right on her.
You got a license and hands on.
So
Jump on.
He jumped right on her. So seconds later, the footage shows McGillis grabbing and slamming her while yelling to put her hands behind her back. Valenzuela then started screaming and crying, saying McGillis was manhandling her and hurting her. Someone please help. I did nothing wrong, sir. She's heard shouting. McGillis told her to act like a young lady. And he begged him to stop and asked him to explain why he was arresting her. You said you didn't have any ID. He shouted as he held her down. Yep. That's not a crime. Like, she still could be without a license and give up the information. You think what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no reason to escalate it to this level.
The cop didn't say, hey, I stopped you for this. Do you have an ID? It's just, you have an ID and gone to the floor.
Right. And Incorporation Doctrine 88, you can unmute yourself when you're ready to. I'm pretty sure you can unmute yourself.
I just caught that. Thank you. You have the right to remain silent. That can't be taken from you. She doesn't have to identify herself. She can remain silent. Your constitutional rights cannot be criminalized. NAACP versus Alabama, 1958, is a federal law since 1958 that still stands true that says you exercising your constitutional rights, you cannot be punished or criminalized for that in any situation. Challenge that, Arizona.
Okay. All right. So an officer told a supervisor over the phone Valenzuela had blood all over her hand because she was wiping it over and over again. Let me stop right there. What this report doesn't mention was how he sexually assaulted her. You notice that?
Oh my God, dude! I haven't even gotten there yet. That itself is what makes me want to vomit in my mouth. That was sexual assault. I don't care how you try and spin it. That woman was handcuffed, bent over against the car, and that is a sexual assault. Period. That's my boy.
Is that your boy from out of Phoenix right there?
That's Jason.
Anthony,
yeah, I know this is high school back in El Paso. He's a good guy.
Okay, maybe we need to give him a call.
Let me handle that.
Okay, definitely. But maybe he needs to be made aware of this. I'm pretty sure he's already aware of it.
I'm not sure of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that, brother, because he would be all over something like this.
Okay, all right. An officer told the supervisor over the phone Valenzuela had blood all over her hand because she was wiping it over and over again. That same officer acknowledged she might need stitches and that McGillis had banged her head. Photos taken by police show Valenzuela suffered bruises and cuts in multiple places on her face, bloodshot eyes, a gash on the top of her head, injuries on her hand and leg. McGillis did not suggest she might be intoxicated until 30 minutes into the arrest when other officers arrived and asked him what happened. When one officer
Let me stop you right there.
Go ahead.
Resistance. When the officer pulled up to her, she had beautiful, clear eyes.
Yeah.
There was no bloodshot. There was white as snow.
Shout out Dragging That Transparency. You know, you're definitely correct. Charlie, you're definitely correct. She was, I mean, we can take it back in the video. We definitely can take it back.
Yeah, please, because when that cop looks at her dead in her face, her eyes are white as snow. Her face was as beautiful as the North Pole.
What is he talking about? What's
Like
Ralph? Ralph, where you at?
Who are you talking about?
Ralph, where are you at? You can be a free agent of the United States People's Republic as a born person or citizen of the United States. The People's Republic wants to put paid. Man, come on.
I can't even find his
it's on comments.
You can be a free agent of the U.S. People's Republic as a born person or citizen of the United States. The People's Republic wants to put paid agents in every country soon to oversee government.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about he may be talking about that this was a staged event. I don't know.
Absolutely,
Ralph,
man, come on. Hey,
Ralph Wire, could you be? Well, let's give him a chance to clarify what he's saying. We don't understand.
Come up to the panel, please.
Ralph,
please come up to the panel and explain.
Better yet, I'll put the
learn at the PBI.us. Man, come on, man.
But when that officer said that she had bloodshot eyes, it was because she was wiping that blood all over her face.
Look at that. That's her face right there.
Look,
that's the clear
her eyes is just as clear as her skin.
No bruises, nothing.
Come on.
Hey, Resistance.
Yo.
Can I comment on the comments thing?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, I got it. Wow. Really? Come on, man. That's chicken shit.
Cody English said he lied. Exactly. So McGillis did not suggest. Valenzuela was taken to jail and ticketed for a range of misdemeanors, including failure to have ID on her, failure to comply with an officer, driving left of center, and a DUI to the slightest degree. The most serious charge, resisting arrest, classified as a violent felony for risking physical injury to the officer.
Get the hell out of here. Man, really? Really? Okay. Give me.
Let me read this this one more paragraph. Valenzuela says she had been drinking earlier in the day, but was not intoxicated at the time. which was substantiated by blood and breath tests. She also said she didn't believe she was in the wrong lane and that although officers didn't find her ID, she believes it was somewhere in the car. Valenzuela recalled being in immense pain as she tried to lie down on the floor of the jail cell. I was really bruised from head to toe. Everything hurt. And look, there go a shot of her. What is that? Her leg, her knee, or something?
Oh God, yeah, it's her knee and her calf. Oh my gosh,
Right, okay, yeah.
that's sick. Yeah, you're going towards her foot. That's her knee here, and then it goes back to her calf, like the front of her calf. That there, man, Jason Ramirez. If you, wow,
McGillis' attack made her think something. Go ahead. What you was about to say, bro?
Do we have her contact information?
No, I don't. This was a body cam video I found on the internet.
How long ago? Never mind. I'll find it.
3 weeks old. It's 3 weeks. This video that I put out was 3 weeks old. I can't remember. Well, it's in the. You want to know how old the situation is?
Correct.
Wednesday, July 15th, 2020.
That's new.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, in court, it's still new.
Oh my gosh, it's still new. Wow. Hey, brother, you know your boy Charles is going to dig into this, right?
Yeah.
Especially as the application of her federal rights and human rights were violated under the color of law. That's torture. That's inhumane treatment. That's depraved indifference. That's sexual assault. That's a crime against humanity. That is a misapplication of law under the color of law. That's police misconduct causing bodily harm. That's, man, please, dude, please.
All right, so McGillis attacked her think something was wrong with him. She said, adding that she was saddened to later learn that officers said they needed to CYA after they saw her bleeding and in pain. I was not threatening to anybody. They didn't care that I'm injured. All they cared about was making sure the officer was safe. James Palestini, Valenzuela's attorney, said the arrest and subsequent it just jumped. The arrest and subsequent charges were egregious, especially considering that the entire interaction and aftermath were caught on video. Valenzuela is also only 5'2", 1.6 meters, and 98 pounds, 44 kilograms. He noted.
Whoa, she was that small? She can handle out for Dorito. She's a little bitty thing.
And that's why she bruised up the way she did. She couldn't handle that impact that he was.
Well, the fact that she's 5'1", she wasn't even 100 pounds. She's lucky she didn't get any bones broken. Oh my God! Who's this?
Her attorneys launched a civil complaint on Monday against McGill, a phlebotomist in the DUI, alleging false in prison. Given that he erupted violently after simply being told Venezuela didn't have her ID, I have serious questions about Officer McGillis' ability to function as an officer, said Brian.
What?
Attorneys. Justice initially declined to comment on the specific arrest, saying the department's Professional Standards Bureau had reviewed the incident and found no violations, and that the expectations of all of our officers to conduct themselves in a professional manner and to treat every person with dignity and respect. I was after this article.
Whoa. Repeat that, please. Please repeat that.
Our officers is to conduct themselves in a professional manner and to treat a person at contact with dignity and respect.
I think it should say dirty and face down in the mud.
So you know what's alarming to me? about this situation is the state of Arizona, because Arizona recently has enacted certain conditions and statutes that, first of all, criminalize First Amendment auditors for what they do, which is a violation of the First Amendment. But they're also prosecuting in these kangaroo courts First Amendment auditors. There's another channel that I'm very familiar with, San Joaquin. He because of he doesn't have a lot of experience in law, he got found guilty of harassment or impeding the officer's duties, which is ridiculous. But the judge allowed it, right? And what you and I discussed earlier, brother, is that if you don't complain or object to what's happening to you, you are deemed compliant, and they continue to go forward. If I tell you, Cody English, you owe me $5,000, and you don't contest that in a court of law, they say, well, Cody English, you owe Charles Stark $5,000 because you didn't contest it. But if Cody, you say, wait a minute, hey, Charles, prove to me that I owe you $5,000. The process stops then and there and cannot continue until your question is answered. Period.
Hey, real quick, Ronnie Wall, he says, where am I? And everybody in the chat know who you are. This is the Resistance Platform. I got Incorporation Doctrine 88. Introduce yourself again, please, and tell them what we're doing as far as this video right here.
So what we're doing is we're dissecting this video from a legal perspective, not cop-splaining it. And so what I do and what Resistance does, which is beautiful, is that we do it in everyday terms, right? We're not attorneys. We're not these big, huge civil rights activists. We're just normal guys who happen to know how to apply the law, okay? And what I do and what he does is not theoretical. This is applied science. You can look me up. I defeated all my charges because of the same things I'm telling you now. I beat all these charges I had in Denton County, Texas. Look me up, Charles Stark. I beat them all because I didn't break down and accept their plea agreements or their plea bargains or their dereliction of duty. I challenged them, which we must all do. And when it comes down to it, they can't take you to trial on these BS charges they have. They're not even in the correct court of law. These are commercial crimes they have you people in, and they're applying criminal punishments in a commercial crime, which is a hybrid, which is illegal.
Disorderly conduct. What's that? Disorderly conduct.
Explain to me what disorderly conduct is. Who in their right mind can tell you what your conduct should be? You tell me where in federal law they can tell a grown man how he should act. Right?
Okay.
They did it in my case.
Hey, contact me. Please.
No, for real, like 100%. They did that shit to me.
Disorderly conduct? How and under what authority are they operating, brother? What do you mean disorderly conduct?
Under this impeding public meeting and procession.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Resistance. What did I tell you earlier? I eat that up all day. I put that in my taco and I sap it up with some salsa verde and I eat it because that's a crock of shit.
I need to go and get your number, man, because I have a couple questions I want to ask you.
I will give you 1,000 answers, brother. I promise you, because this is what they're doing is it's a misapplication of law. They have us in commercial courts for commercial crimes but the consequences are criminal. So here's the situation. If there's no victim, if there's no injured party, there's no crime. So there can be 0 jail time. If they have you in there for a speeding ticket, right? Well, you say to them, hey, district attorney, show me the victim. Give me proof of injury and fact.
I got Brian Johnson in the chat. He said, I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if he's just making fun of the situation. But he says interfering is a physical activity, and we all know that interfering is physical. It's
yes, he's true. He's correct in that statement.
No, I know Brian. I know Brian what he's talking about. Just some people they like to play, but yeah, Aaron is a physical activity. You have to actually be physically involved with the arresting officer and who you're dealing with to be charged with interfering. I
Okay,
can't.
so get this.
Wait a minute. Let me
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead.
They go ahead. Go ahead.
So get this. You have the right to stop another citizen from being subjected to police misconduct.
Yes, you do. You have a right to interfere
Period.
at that point. At
Period.
that point. Sort of like a Derek Chauvin situation.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
But
so this guy here, Ralph.
Say real quick. No, let me just piggyback what I was saying earlier. They cannot suppress your voice. You as a human, no matter how loud you protest, they cannot penalize you for that.
Especially unless you violate the fighting words doctrine. Okay.
Right.
The fighting words doctrine is you can't go into a mall and yell fire. Right? You can't go and say bomb. You can't cause civil unrest like that. Okay. But those are very selective words that are not protected by free speech. The rest of it is all protected by free speech, and they cannot criminalize you exercising your constitutional rights. Period. They're God-given.
Hey, Resistance.
Yes, sir.
I put my number in the chat. If you can get my number, man.
Okay.
Get my number, homie.
Listen, I seen that, and that number look crazy as hell, bro.
It is, but I love that number, homie. I love it.
What number?
He just sent me his number in a private chat here on StreamYard to give to you.
Yeah,
and this number is crazy. I'm talking about.
I love that number.
The same numbers in the same sequence, damn near.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm not going to show his number, but if you can understand
No. That's fine. I got it.
Say, bro, if you can please call me, homie, I would appreciate it.
Hey, get this. I got you. This is why God put me on this earth. I promise you that. I mean that. And you could ask Resistance. I mean that sincerely.
Say, bro, like on some real shit, man. Like I'm about to fucking cuss the shit out of my lawyer. I'm about to
No. Your lawyer is now your errand boy. Okay.
I know that
he's necessary. He's necessary, but the stuff I will tell you,
please,
or Roberts can't preach off that stuff, brother. And I mean that with all respect.
I got some questions for you, homie, and on some real shit, man.
Ask me.
And
this is the platform, right? Generally speaking, ask me.
Wait a minute, real quick. Y'all see how small she is, right? That's her.
Oh my gosh, her children.
Yeah,
she's little bitty.
Yeah.
So
her son weighs more than her.
So that is wow, man. That's a human rights deprivation. That is a Hey, Kevin. That is ridiculous, man. That doesn't that's unacceptable behavior, brother, man. That's unacceptable behavior. That is what keeps me up at night. Mm-hmm. Things like this keep me up at night. And like the other day with Jason, that gives me nightmares. Right. And you know what I've been through, right? What I've been through.
Jason Dollarhide, right? Jason Dollarhide. Okay.
I talked to Jason. I talked to him 15 times today. That's unacceptable. In Oklahoma, passed this stupid ass state law saying that you can't film police officers in the course of their duties, which is ridiculous. You'll never survive.
No, that's only if they listen to that. You can record them. It's only if you're trying to like put them out in a malicious way, put business out there in a malicious way. Like
define. So get this. I say define malicious. Okay. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Hey, Resistance, I'm glad you brought that up, sir. I'm going to tell you why. So, in order for a crime to occur, there must be It's called mens rea, actus reus, habeas corpus, and corpus delicti. The guilty thought, the guilty act, the guilty act itself, and also there must be an injured party, okay? All four of those must be applicable for a crime to occur. Not one of the four, not two of the four, all four. You tell me how in the hell a prosecutor can tell you what your mindset was.
Man,
you true. Tell me what you and I talked about today, Resistance. Willingly and knowingly did blah, 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 blah. Prove it. You prove to me what my mindset was. Prove it.
Right? You can't prove what nobody's thinking.
And get this. You ready? Real quick. The guilty thought does not, the guilty act does not equal the guilty mind. Period.
Explain that.
So the guilty act, let's suppose it's a crime of passion. Like, you know, you walk in and there's something happening nefarious in your bedroom with your wife and somebody else, and you react to that, right? That act does not mean you meant to do what you did. You didn't go in there with the intent of reacting to what you saw, right? The guilty act does not mean the guilty mind. So you reacted as a human being to what you saw in front of you, okay? Well, that in the court of law doesn't stick as a guilty mind, as a thought out malicious act, period. You can beat that all day long if you have the patience to take it to trial. Okay? Have them prove that you meant to do it. Prove it. Prove it. I don't care what the hell they're charging you with. Prove I meant to do it.
See what Brian Johnson said?
What?
Intent has to be proved. Intent has to be proven, and one of the three is a prior conviction of guilt.
Well, a prior conviction of guilt, you cannot be punished for the same crime twice. So this whole your priors are enhancement, that's all horse pocky if you challenge it, okay? Because your prior convictions have nothing to do with your current charge if you're not on paper. If you're not on parole, if you're not on probation, your current conviction or accused crime has nothing to do with your priors. Period.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Okay.
Yeah.
I got charged with what's it called? Fucking disorderly conduct.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucking chief of police charged me with that crime.
Give me a couple minutes, y'all. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm gonna be a couple minutes.
After that crime, I went up there to court and they dismissed it.
Let me stop you real quick. Crime, okay? The legal definition of crime is there must be an injured, for a crime to occur, there must be an injured party, period. There has to be a victim, okay? For a crime to occur. Injury to a person, damage to property, or a felony in the presence of a police officer is a crime. So what they do is they make these hybrid courts, okay? So, man, that's just a crock of shit. Disorderly conduct. You're a grown man, right?
The chief of police called the damn state attorney 3 times to charge me with impeding.
Good. Can you prove that?
Yeah.
Ah.
Then, homie, they charged me with cussing.
Oh, really?
Cursing.
Really?
I shit you not.
Come on, they didn't charge you. What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
So am I. I'm in Dallas.
I'm in Dallas too, man. Maybe we should hook up.
Wait a second. They charged you with. Wait a second. They charged you with cursing.
Say, man, I made the news.
When?
About 6 months ago, I stopped 200 people from Black Lives Matter protests.
Okay.
Here in DeSoto, Texas.
Hey, wait a second. Really?
Yes, sir.
Really? So 6 months ago, that was, February 4. That was in September.
Just look up.
No, hold on. Well, we'll talk privately. But I got you.
Yeah, please, man.
Hey, so get this. Just look me up, man. Just Google. I want you to just when you have it right now. I want you to Google Charles Stark. Okay.
I can't. Cause my phone it'll be tripping. Like right now, you kind of breaking up, but I can hear you clearly. But
on this computer, that's why. Just I have your phone number. 867-5309 309 309 309 309 309. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. But listen, you're in my hood. You're right down the street. I got you.
Stay, homie. I'm in DeSoto.
I know. You're right down the street. I'm in Dallas proper, right by downtown. I got you. Don't worry about it. You sleep. Hey, listen. You sleep better tonight, knowing that God put you and I together. Period.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Period.
Oh,
you sleep better tonight. Yeah. You sleep better tonight, and I'm not joking with you. This is applied science, man. This is
bro.
The fact that they did that to you is a travesty of justice. It's man. Please, I'll just say this: $1 million easily up front, right?
Yeah. The crazy thing about it is the chief of police said, "Hey, if y'all don't like his language, let me know."
He didn't say that.
I shit you not.
Is that on paper?
That's on paper. That is on. I shit you not, homie. I promise you. I want to talk to you about this.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Oh, homie, you might be surprised.
Oh no! Nothing surprises me. I promise you that. Nothing surprises me anymore. But
it surprised my lawyer.
I'll just put it this way.
Charlie Dog.
No.
Look, I just texted him your number. He got your number.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Resistance. Man, you're the fucking man, Resistance. I thank you so fucking much.
Hey, so get this, man. That's such a crock of you know what that I'm sitting here, I'm tearing up from laughing. Okay? Because they got you for cursing. That's so stupid.
I shit you not, and they wrote me the ticket. They wrote the ticket for disorderly conduct. Cool, okay, I can understand, but they dismissed it, and they said, you know what, we're gonna charge you with something else because that didn't stick.
Okay, so
let me call the state attorney 3 times I'm gonna
stop you really quick, okay? And I'm gonna tell you how unconstitutional a ticket is. Are you ready? Write this. You put your fingers up. Number 1, the state of Texas versus you. That's a due process violation. The state of Texas can't be the victim. That's number 1. Number 2, there's a fine associated with the quote unquote infraction that you did, right? Cursing. There's a $25 fine with that, right? Due process of law violation. They're saying you're already guilty without you being in front of a court. That's number 2.
$580.
So get that. That's number 2. Number 3, who's the victim, right? Number 3. Yeah. Number 4, you have the right to face your accuser, okay? How in the F can the state of Texas be your accuser if they can't prove an injury? Bam, number 4. Number 5, a due process violation because you have the right to due process of law, and due process means you have the right to mount your defense. How can you mount your defense if you're paying $580 for some bullshit fine? Number 5. Number 6, a pretrial detainee cannot be punished for any reason whatsoever. Okay? Hey, Brian Johnson, you're right. Cursing is freedom of speech. Okay? And so get this. How can you are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law? How in the hell can they punish you? By charging you for a bond, for cursing. For cursing,
dude. That shit. My lawyer was laughing and he was like, damn, this is the first time I ever seen this.
They tried that stuff with me in Little Elm. They tried the same crap with me in Little Elm. We destroyed it and ripped them a new one and blew it out of the water. And so
hey, real quick, let me shout out Look Resistor UK and Perfect Sense Resistor. Please put the strain in the chat. What is the strain of the stream? Go ahead, y'all. My bad.
You're good, man. Hey, Brian Johnson's got skills, by the way. Resistance.
When a cop turns their lights on, they committed a felony, creating an emergency where none existed before. We was just talking about that earlier.
Hey, Brian, you got you know what you're talking about, brother. Get a hold of us. Seriously, he knows what he's talking about.
Better yet,
That's application of law.
better
There's
yet,
no emergency. Man,
better
okay,
yet,
Brian Johnson.
come on up. You're welcome to come up and speak anything you like to speak about concerning this matter. Shout out to Brian Johnson.
Big shout to Brian Johnson.
But yeah, man, I did a Superman just like her when that cop grabbed me, man.
He grabbed you?
Yeah, he grabbed me. He Superman my ass to the goddamn ground.
That sucks, doesn't it?
And man, I felt like a superhero for 1.3 seconds, and I was like, bam!
Hey, Mike Tyson put it best. Mike Tyson said, "Everybody feels like everybody has a plan till they get hit in the jaw." Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So resistance. You and I were discussing this yesterday about your right to resist. Okay. And so the law reads this: you have the right to resist up to and including the amount of force applied. So if the cop comes and grabs you by the wrist, you cannot slam him over the head with a brick, but you have a right to not have your wrist twisted, right?
Right.
You have the right to not be slammed to the ground. And you have the right to not have your neighbor slammed to the ground. You have the right to interfere with that.
And if he shoot at you, you got the right to shoot back at him.
I won't say that on record.
I love Texas law, but
no. Hey, whoa, back up. Forget Texas law. Forget state law. It's only federal law, right? Federal law and how it applies to you. Is Texas law important? It absolutely is. Don't let me mislead you, okay? But the governmental hierarchy of law is like this: the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, state law, policies, procedures, blah, 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 right? Are they codified? Yes, they are. Are they organic? Yes, they are. Do they count in a court of law? Yes, they do. But in the governmental hierarchy of law, the Constitution reigns supreme. The Supremacy Clause, Article 6, Clause 2, U.S. Constitution, period.
Aren't they supposed to have a warrant at any circumstances of them entering your fucking property?
Oh my gosh! I wish they would. Oh my lord, dude!
You know what? Right here real quick, Brian Johnson said he'd love to come up. He's having some issues with his equipment. Hey, Brian, whenever you get your situation straightened out, you're welcome to come up. Please come on up anytime.
Absolutely. Brian Johnson's got valid points, resistance. He's not just talking out of his you know what. He has valid points.
I see that. I heard him talk. While I was reading his comments earlier, I said, and I know what he's talking about because I see what he's writing in the chat. But yeah, come on. We need we need all the minds to gather, meeting of the minds, and put this information out there for the people. You know,
absolutely, man. And so here we go. Are you ready? So here we go with this whole qualified immunity bull crap, right? This is what federal law states. Employees of a city or state are not immune from suit under statutes relating to civil rights for deprivations of rights on grounds that officials were acting within the scope of their responsibilities of performing a discretionary act. That's Bunch B. Barnett, 1974. And that's all a bunch of legal jargon for if they're acting under the color of law, they can't violate civil rights, period. They lose their qualified immunity. And people are so afraid of qualified immunity, it's so easy to defeat. It really is if they're doing what happened to this young lady.
So the color of law says that you have to present your name, your badge number, and what you've been stopped for.
No. Okay, so here we go. Ready? I'm not trying to interrupt you, but here we go. The color of law means that they are acting in an authoritative position, meaning they have their badge and they have the right. For example, in this situation with this young lady, that officer was acting in the color of law when he told her to stop or give me your driver's license. Okay, he was acting in an authoritative position, which he didn't have the actual authority to do. So he violated her civil rights under the color of law. Therefore, she has certain It's an application that she can use for her civil complaint. And so here's the thing, brothers and sisters, that civil law and civil suits, as I was explaining to Resistance earlier, are important, and you don't have to have your state charges settled before you are able to file a civil case in federal court against the state charges or the actions of the state that happened. So in simple terms, with me, for example, I was assaulted by these police officers, okay? And I had pending charges. Well, I knew that the resisting arrest was not going to stick. So I went and filed in federal court a civil complaint that my federal rights were violated or deprived under the color of law. And so I put for an emergency injunction against the state. And the feds, hey, listen, hear this. Man, the feds don't play, okay? The feds don't play. And so they're also not subjected. They're not subjected, or they're not under the same pressures as a state judge, because federal judges are there for life, okay? They don't have the political pressures. And you know what? Also, hey, listen to me. If you're coming to state court, if you're going to federal court, you better have your you know what together, or they'll spit it out and they'll fine you, right? But what you and I are talking about are federal crimes. What happened to her are federal crimes. It's black and white. The feds only have jurisdiction to say, hey, did you have a constitutional violation? Did it happen to the color of law? They don't want to hear about your kids. They don't want to hear about what happened. They don't want to hear about her bleeding. They don't want to hear any of that stuff, right? Were her constitutional rights violated? Did it happen to the color of law? That's it. They don't care about her bleeding. They don't care about her knees being jacked up. They don't care about her children. They care about the application of law. And that's what happened.
The application of law is if the police officers did everything in accordance of how they were supposed to go about it, right?
So here we go. Ready?
Policy, right?
So here we go.
Wait a minute, real quick. If something happened and it didn't warrant excessive force, that's basically what you mean, right?
Okay, so generally, yes, but you can't complain that way. You have to be very specific. You can't say if something happened, if this happened. With her situation, she was exercising her freedom of right to travel free and unencumbered. That police officer under the color of law approached her and violated her right to travel free and unencumbered, which is a violation of federal law, Title 18 U.S. Code 242. Because he violated 18 U.S. Code 242, he loses his qualified immunity, and she now has cause for action for Title 42, subsection 1983. Now,
what about them taking her blood for alcohol?
So that's a Fourth Amendment violation, right? So that Fourth Amendment violation is a violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 242, which says, hear me out, which says, whenever a law enforcement official under the color of law violates a citizen's civil rights, it is a federal crime. Okay? And so this is what I had to learn this last year and a half. You have to know how to complain. You can't just bitch that something was wrong, right? Because the feds don't want to hear it. You know what? You have to come correct. Oh, you know what, man? This cop arrested me. It was bullshit. And they don't want to hear all that. And he beat me up. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear, hey, listen, I was exercising my First Amendment right to film cops in their public duties. They arrested me for it, which is a violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 242. Because they did that, you federal court has subject matter jurisdiction for Title 42 U.S. Code 1983, civil rights others. That's all they want to hear.
That's what you put on your cover letter?
Yes,
Is that what you put on your cover letter? When
Absolutely.
Your
my civil rights cover sheet. My civil rights cover sheet. I put.
Say, bro, I gotta talk to you on some real shit because
it's all this. Wait. Hear this. It's not as complicated as you're making it sound. Okay, it's really not, because you, when you step back and look at what happened to you, you know it's wrong, right? It was wrong. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So what I'm going to teach you is how to complain about it. Okay? Because you and I can't sit here and bitch all day long about, oh, it's messed up, blah, 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 blah. If you can't say, per Edelman v. Jordan, 415 U.S. 651, when officers are acting outside the scope of authority, which is taken authorized, they are administered to power because they violated Title 18 U.S. Code 242. Because of that, you can now sue per 1942 U.S. Code 1983. It's all irrelevant unless you can say it that way. And that's why lawyers go to school, right? To learn that and learn how to complain. And so you have to know how to complain. Otherwise, you can't ever get into a federal court. You can't establish jurisdiction in the federal realm per se, unless you know how to get in there, because they can't help you. Okay. They can't help you. But if you're in there, for example, well, let's say for,
how much did this cost you of putting all this paperwork in? Because it sounds like a lot of fucking money. $400?
$402. And only because I had it at the time. But guess what? If you don't have it, you can do what's called impoperous. You can file it as a poor person who doesn't have the $400. Your federal rights don't go away because you can't afford to pay the filing fee. And technically, filing fees are for attorneys.
Well, what I heard
because
about
I'm homeless
now. What I heard about that is if you get it waived, it get put down. It get put further down the pile.
Well, no.
So you'll get to it, but it gets placed further under the pile.
Resistance. Resistance. People will do to you what you allow them to do. Okay. Because you can't afford to pay the $400 fee does not make you any less of a human being. Okay. So it's all about learning how to complain. Don't take no for an answer. Hey, I sent you that bond information I had with those people in Denton County. They lied to me for 6 weeks. Guess what? I didn't take no for an answer. And guess what? They didn't expect a black man to know the law. They didn't realize I was setting them up. Oh, really? You don't have it? Well, could you try again? Oh, wow. You don't have it still? Oh, man. Jeepers. Gosh. Oh, wow. Guess what, lady? I'm going to send you the government code that says you must have what I'm asking for. And matter of fact, now I want your bond information, your oath of office, because you're not liable to me because you are being deceitful. Per McNeely versus U.S., whenever a public servant does not give information demanded by the public, that public servant is guilty of fraud because that public servant cashes her paycheck, right? She cashes her paycheck, and she cashes her paycheck saying she's adhering to the Constitution. When she doesn't do that, it's fraud. Call them on it all day long. I eat these people for lunch.
I'm looking at the step-by-step. What I got on the screen right now is the step-by-step simple guide to follow in civil action. This is out of the District of Massachusetts, District Courts, Massachusetts. And I was looking for what I mentioned to you, and I could be wrong. Sometimes I get things mixed up. When I was talking about how they place your case further under the pile when you choose to get it waived if you don't pay the $400, but I'm gonna have to find that somewhere else. But
well, you know what? That makes sense in a non-legal conversation, okay? But how can your rights be subjected to less importance because you can't afford to pay the $400 filing fee? Right? And legally, that $400 filing fee is for attorneys. Okay? We're not attorneys. And so remember I told you that one conversation we had, Resistance. Words have meaning in law. If you do not know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up.
Shout out to Renetta Williams. Have a good night. The Queen, all the way from Wynn, Arkansas.
Hey, Renetta. If you don't know what you're talking about, be quiet because you paint yourself into a corner that you cannot get yourself out of because you have the words have meaning in law. And Brian, you're absolutely right, brother. You have to file a waiver of fees. It's called impoperous. And you have the right to do that. And get this, when you file it that way, they still have to give you a case number. And then that judge decides whether or not you're, in their eyes, poor or not. Well, who are they to determine if you're poor or not? Right? So if they say, well, I don't think you're poor. Well, hey, judge, under what authority are you telling me what I can afford? You feel me?
Right.
Technically, the judge is the weakest person in the courtroom. The judge is the weakest person in the courtroom because a judge legally cannot act without a jury. If you want to get technical about the shit, right?
That's deep. That's deep right there. And it's true. When I was watching, I paid close attention to the Ahmaud Arbery trial.
Oh my gosh.
And I was paying attention to, how they were operating within court, and the judge was just making sure everything was going the way it was supposed to go.
There you go.
Everything else was in the jury's hands, in the prosecutor's hands, and in the defense hands. It was all they ball game, and they just had to, play together.
So get this. All the judge is a referee, okay? And right. So I know how much you love sports, Resistance. So it's like this, right? The game is basketball, okay? The game is basketball. And so all the referee does is call traveling. You know that you cannot take 2 steps without dribbling the basketball. And if you do, you're traveling. All the ref does is call traveling. He does not interpret it. He does not interpret what traveling is. He just calls what he sees. Okay. The game is basketball. The law is the jurisdiction is the court. Okay. And so the judge is just an administrator. It's just a referee. It's all about the court. And for example, in your case, Resistance, in your case, brother, in DeSoto, they are guilty of fraud upon the court because they chose to continue in your prosecution without a victim. That's fraud upon the court. And the feds don't play that shit. The states do because they're friends.
The complainant got to be a citizen, or
let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Okay, you ready for this? This blew my mind. And hey, Resistance, this is old boy on Supreme Decisions taught me. The term plaintiff.
Supreme Decisions. Absolutely. Y'all know about Supreme Decisions. Type it in YouTube, he'll pop right up.
If you guys don't see it, if you guys don't go to his channel, you're not serious. Okay, I'll say that. The word plaintiff, the word defendant, warrant, indictment, all of that, those are all commercial terms. They're not criminal terms. They're commercial terms. Plaintiff, defendant, warrant, indictment, all that crap, those are all commercial terms. They're not criminal ones. You can challenge that.
Do me a favor. What are the words for crime? If those
crime, so listen. If you are in a if you're in a criminal situation, if you're it's called an Article 3 court, okay? If you're in a criminal situation, it'll say this: the Resistance versus Charles Stark, okay? And the Resistance says that I broke your nose, and the nose, the breakage of cartilage on your nose is similar to my knuckle bruising or damage to the bones of my knuckle. Okay. And it happened on September 21st at 12:43 at 123 Johnson Street at it has to be that specific. And if it's not, you challenge it. It's called a bill of particulars. Okay. And so here's another thing, guys, that you have to learn. If they arrest you with a warrant, they're in big trouble. They have to have a warrant in order for, especially in Texas, DeSoto. You ready? In Texas, there has to be exigent circumstances to arrest you without a warrant. excessive circumstances in Texas is you choke somebody out while they're trying to call 911, right? You admitted you choked them out. You choked them out in front of a cop. You have blood on your hands and you have a knife in your hand and there's somebody bleeding at your knees. Okay. And basically that's about it. And a domestic violence issue, right? Your wife called and said you whooped her ass. You said you whooped her ass and now you're in trouble. Okay. And you admitted it. That's it. There's only 5 circumstances in Texas that are excessive to arrest you without a warrant. Otherwise,
so wait a minute. Brian Johnson said committed against another person to deprive them of life, liberty, freedom, or damage of property.
That's right? A crime. So here's the thing. That's a federal civil rights violation.
And it has to go the way that you're saying. It has to be applied the way you said it. It has to be applied specifically by the victim.
It has to be a crime. For a crime to occur, something has to happen to somebody else.
Let me ask you this.
So how does the process go? The victim brings it to the courts. Like, where do the police come? Because you're saying that the state or the police can't be the victim. So how do they get involved?
So here we go. This is how you've watched Law and Order before, right? And in Law and Order, they say, we have a rape victim, and this is her, and she's pointing to her assailant, right? And therefore, the state is prosecuting John Doe on behalf of Jane Doe. But Jane Doe is there, and Jane Doe is the complainant, not the DA. The DA is just taking up for her because it's a felony. It's a state crime. It's a federal crime per se. But the complainant must be there. You have the right to face your accuser. This is why people who have nefarious intentions don't allow the complainant to show up to court. I'll leave it like that, okay? Resistance, if you and I go to court and I say you whoop my ass and I'm suing you, if I can't go to court and point at you and say, hey, listen, you did this to me and you don't have the right to defend what I'm accusing you of, there's no fucking crime. Period. That's why they settle out. That's why they have these damn ass these plea bargains. And man, you have to have a victim. If there's any kind of jail time insinuated or a result of what they're quote unquote accusing you of, there has to be a victim.
Crimes have to have a victim. City, county, state is not a person.
There you go. Well. So you want to get into it. What's the legal definition of a person? Okay. The term person, it kind of goes back to a corporation per se, and that's a whole other subject. But it's words have meaning in law, and don't ever forget that.
Whoa! My timer went off. I gotta shut it down. You gave up enough juice for now.
Oh hell!
You had to come back and abruptly cut this off right now. They got I think it's an overload. They might not be able to suck up all this information you put out. So
how do we continue this conversation on another platform?
I'm trying to figure out who's in the chat that's equipped to do it right now. Dragon at Transparency, I don't think she has reached her goal to go live. I don't know anybody.
Hey! What about Wake Up America and Resist? He's got his stuff together too.
Nah, he don't. As far as talking about going live, so as far as talking about it on another platform after I shut it down.
Hey, brother, I know steak and wine, man. You know me.
I don't know right now. I don't see anybody in the chat that's able to do that. But if anybody want to pick up this conversation on y'all platform, throw it in the
wait
chat.
A minute. Hey, Resistance. Can I do it?
No, I don't think you have enough subscribers on
Oh,
your.
okay.
You gotta have a certain amount of subscribers. They want you to meet these certain terms or whatever.
All right, so get this.
Shout out to
Me,
Resistance UK.
hey, look, you and me and who's that? Who's that in DeSoto? I can't remember your name, bro. I'm sorry.
Charlie Dog.
Charlie, hey, what's your name? See, your name's Charles. It's got to be cool, right?
Yeah, my name is Charles too, man. So hey, it is what it is.
Charles.
Yes.
Charles from
Charles
Texas.
and Charles in the house. Let's continue the conversation. What's that?
Y'all gotta get together, do an audit or something, and then
Oh my gosh! You know what's fun that would be?
Say, bro, just give me a holler so I can have your number, man.
I'm gonna call you as soon as this broadcast ends. I'm gonna call you right now.
Just about to be in a few minutes.
Thank you, Resistance.
Real quick, hold on.
It's a very psychological thing that's happening here.
Shout outs to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. This was a special Sunday night special with Incorporation Doctrine 88 dissecting the video that we looked at for the past 2 hours. Where Maniac Phoenix Cop on duty. So I didn't get what I really wanted to get out of it because there was so many views, over 100,000 views on it on Facebook, and people had some negative things to say about it, and I invited them on, and they didn't want to come up and talk about it on the panel. So I low-key feel some kind of way, but it is what it is. But we had Corporation Doctrine 88 on the panel, and we also had my main man, Charlie Dog 84. So get him to a shout out. I want to thank him personally right now for coming on up on my platform and spending some time on the Resistance platform. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Resistance. Smash the like button on Resistance channel. 100, support him.
And the shadow ban is real, so share as much as you can.
Hey, Resistance.
He brings real news to you.
Hey, I'm gonna try and talk hip hop talk. Hey, that's all live, G. Well, great.
No, just stick with the law.
All right, good.
Good. All right, so I'm gonna kick y'all out, man. Let's do it again, y'all. For real, we gotta connect.
Hey, whenever you're ready, brother. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Well, Charles, Incorporation Doctrine 88. We gonna get together. Charlie Dog, you gotta come back on. We gotta make it a thing, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, man. You got my number. Just shoot me the text. Say, hey, I'm going live at this time. Jump on in, and I will.
Well, that's what you say. Wait, Charles, that's what you say.
I'm all into a dogfight, baby.
That's what you say, but your number is 867-5309, 309-742-999-575. What the fuck out of here, man? Really?
I love that number.
I'm kicking y'all up out of here. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. Bet.
But once again, shout outs to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Hey, that was a different experience, wasn't it? I think we wanna do more of those. If y'all like to see more of those, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all really don't give a damn, put a 2 in the chat. Shout out to Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson, once again, please come up when you're better equipped to do so. I understand how situations are. Man, I got my little raggedy thing put together, but it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Resistance, Rogan, Ralph Wyatt, Brian Johnson, Oak Resistor UK. Resistant level is futile. I see y'all. Perfect sense resistor. Moderator of the stars. Wake up, America, and resist. Shout outs to my main man, Boston native. Wake up, America, and resist. Arrow Shields, for sure. Be safe out there. And remember, if you see some cops doing some egregious things, pull your camera out and record.
I'm just a black man with cameras.
Are you listening?